Hey folks, welcome to Guitar Daily. It's Nick Granville from Wellington, New Zealand. So I thought today I'd talk about the coil tap on the Paul Reed Smith DGT. So this is one of the things that I was very interested in this instrument about. I have a few other guitars with coil taps. This one, and I'll talk about that in a minute, among others. The thing with coil taps, it's an interesting kind of thing, isn't it? You have coil taps and coil splits are two different things. There's a bit of theory behind it, but I won't really get into that today. What I'm going to talk about is how they sound and how to use them, right? Does it really sound like a single coil? Not really. I mean, it's enough, though. That's the thing. The way I look at it is it's a useful sound. So on this guitar, it's on this pot here. If you haven't watched my review of this guitar, go and check it out. But I talked about one of the issues of this system, which I don't particularly like. So I actually scratched up all this pot in order to be able to grip it properly and be able to do that. But here's the humbucker sound. And here's the coil tap. Actually works really well. It doesn't really sound like a single coil, like when I grab my Telecaster or Strat or my AZ model or something like that. That's when you go, okay, there's a little bit more of a something in there. I think it's more percussive on a real single coil, but it's a usable sound, right? I can go from a sound like, say, this jazz tone to and we're in Funkland or whatever you want to do with it. And the thing is, the thing with these Paul Reed Smiths that I was very interested in, this DGT model, is that apparently it's like a 75% tap. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. So let's compare it. I'm going to do a couple little comparisons with this AR520. This has Ibanez Super 58s. Super 58 here and a Mr. Glynn in the neck. So two different pickups, two different manufacturers, two different kind of things. This is a low turn pickup, meaning a 5% under. So it's a little clearer. And it's got my preferred way of having it, which is toggle switches. Works so much better. So I'm going to show you some comparisons. So first up, neck pickup, coil tapped on the Paul Reed Smith. Now these guitars, I should say, are constructed differently, so that will affect the sound, of course, right? But regardless of what people tell you about tone wood not mattering and all that kind of stuff, rubbish. Of course it does. Anyone who's ever played guitars knows, two different guitars knows that, right? Like Les Paul with a humbucker does not sound like a Strat with a humbucker. Period. Right, even if it's the same pickup. Anyway, what I'm going to do now, both pickups on, coil tapped. Bridge pickup, coil tapped. So, as you can hear, they're very different, right? I think this system here that Paul Reed Smith have with these DGTs is really the best I've heard in terms of coil taps. Is it perfect? Hell no. It's not even close, right? There is no way to make a humbucker truly sound like a single coil when you tap it. You just can't. It's the nature of it, the way it works. It's a physics thing, you know. But I think the system of tap, 75% tap, I've heard it called that, is a good way to do it, right? Because it doesn't become thin. As you'll notice with this guitar, when it's a true coil tap, I believe, sounds a lot thinner. Now this guitar has some advantages in terms of the way the system works. the toggle switches are just better, right? These push-pull pots, or even push-push pots. I've seen people talk about push-push pots. They don't work either for me. Like, problem with the push-push pot is, how do you know which mode you're in? At least with this system, I can see once it's up, it's single coil. Once it's down, it's humbuckers, right? But if you have push-push, how do you know which one you're in until you play a note? And I can't have that. But toggle switches, by far the best way to do it. This one actually has humbucker, single coil, split, and then parallel, right? Which gives you yet a third option. Parallel is an interesting one because it actually, it's sort of single coil in nature, but no hum, right? So, and also this has it per pickup. I kind of wish they'd done that with the DGT. Had they put 2 toggle switches here, 1 per pickup, and also parallel as well as the coil tap, that would have been choice. But I do really like the way they've done it. You know, I mean, this aside, I actually think the way the pickups work in this guitar, it coil taps really well. It's the best system. You do lose a bit of volume, so the way I get around that is on my Fractal, I just have a little boost. So this is my, I think it's 3 dB I've got on it to sort of balance it. So this is humbucker neck pickup without the boost. Now coil tap it, hit the boost. So you get about the same output. Take the boost off, hit that. That's a good way to do it, right? That seems to get me in the same kind of ballpark. Sometimes I'll use that just as a solo boost anyway, like I'll be on a gig and say the band's starting to creep up and I feel like I just need a little more. Hit that boost and it gives you another gear to go up to. I hope it's been useful. I kind of thought I'd talk about coil tabs, you know, because it can tap at different points through it, and I think that's the way to do it, right? Pretty cool design. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this or found it useful, please subscribe and please like the video. All that stuff helps. My name's Nick Granville. I'm a guitar player from Wellington, New Zealand, as I mentioned, professional musician, and now daily YouTuber. Who knew? Do I consider myself a YouTuber? Not really. I guess I am. Someone asked me the other day, but I see myself as a guitar player who just shares what I do with this whole thing. Got some cool stuff coming up, some new gear coming in to show you all. I've got some interviews, stuff like that. So, yeah, please subscribe. See you tomorrow. Cheers.